Title: Whispering Waters. The legend of the Loch Ness Monster had been imprinted in the minds of the Scottish people for centuries, but to Millie Grant, it was just a story told to amuse children. At 17, she was more interested in capturing the beauty of the Scottish highlands through her lens than in ancient myths. However, this summer would take her into the heart of a legend she had long dismissed. Millie's parents had rented a cottage on the edge of Loch Ness, where the loch's dark waters shifted like secrets longing for confession. Her father, an ardent believer in myths, often recounted tales of Nessie during family gatherings, sending her younger brother Alvin into fits of excitement. Millie merely rolled her eyes, dismissing the stories, until the moment she stood by the loch's edge with her camera, almost like an afterthought. On the second night, while the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of violet and crimson, Millie wandered from the cottage, drawn to the water's edge. The lake looked more alive under the moonlit glow. The surface shifted, rippling as if breathless, whispering forgotten secrets. A chill swept through the air as the wind howled softly around her, making the tall reeds sway ominously. She took a deep breath, the crisp night air filling her lungs, and raised her camera. Snap! The shutter clicked, capturing the tranquility that belied the tales of terror spoken through generations. Then, something caught the corner of her eye, an impossibly large shadow moving beneath the surface. It was quick, just a flicker, but instinct made her heart race. Just a log, she whispered to herself, though doubt clawed at her. She lifted the camera again just as the disturbance returned, but this time it was accompanied by the echo of something unmistakable. A low moan rippled through the night, merging with the sound of restless waves. "Millie!" A voice called from behind, snapping her from her thoughts. It was Alvin, his wide eyes glowing with the thrill of the unknown. "Did you see it? Did you see Nessie?" As the night deepened, Millie felt an inexplicable urge to explore further into the murky waters of the lore. She and Alvin pocketed flashlights and tiptoed toward a rocky outcrop that jutted ominously over the lake. "Stay behind me, Al," Millie said, though her own bravado wavered. They climbed the rocks, the wind tugging at them, howling through the crevices like a melancholic wraith. From their vantage point, the loch spread beneath them, dark and foreboding, but glimmering in the silvery moonlight. Alvin pointed excitedly. "Look!" He shone his flashlight over the loch, revealing a small boat bobbing unnaturally in the water, far from any shoreline. Millie could barely make out the faint outline of a figure within, oblivious to their presence. "It has to be someone else looking for Nessie. Can we go?" she asked meekly. But Alvin was already scrambling toward the water, mesmerized by the mysterious figure. Against her better judgment, Millie followed, feeling a pull she couldn't understand. As they approached, the stillness thickened, a heavy veil that pressed against their senses. The distant figure in the boat began to shift, and the outlines of an enormous form started to rise beneath the water. In that moment, the air seemed to grow heavier, prickling Millie's skin. Shadows twisted on the surface, and the sound of deep, rumbling growls echoed through the loch, reverberating in her bones. Beneath the water, something colossal moved, revealing flashes of dark scales glimmering like obsidian. Millie's heart raced as she turned to Alvin, who stood entranced, pointing into the depths. "Look, look!" As the creature breached the surface, water splashed violently around it, and a monstrous head rose, granite-like and towering, dripping with the loch's history. Wide, ancient eyes gazed unflinchingly at them, brimming with an unsettling knowing. A chill raced down Millie's spine, the haunting voice of her father echoing in her mind. "It's a guardian of the loch, a remnant of a forgotten world." A deafening roar erupted from the creature's throat, drowning them in a fear that twisted like a vice around their hearts. Millie felt herself pull Alvin with her, staggering backward from the edge of the rocks, but the grip of terror had him frozen in place, eyes wide, entranced. "Alvin, run!" she shouted, a primal urgency pushing her. But the moment became a tangled web of fear and wonder as the creature, just a breath away from consuming their very souls, lowered its majestic head, staring into Millie's eyes with an ancient sorrow. In a split second, time fragmented, she didn't know if it was warning or invitation. And then, it plunged beneath the depth, leaving behind a silence that screamed. Millie grabbed Alvin, dragging him back as the monster vanished into the shadows, the night reclaiming its secrets. They sprinted away, hearts pounding like thunder against the silence of the loch behind them. That night, filled with dread and awe, Millie would dream of the guardian of the loch, a vivid reminder that some legends live, breathing, ancient and otherworldly, tangled deep within the waters of the subconscious. The Loch Ness Monster was no mere myth, and when the whispering waters called, one must heed the warning to stay away.